Hi, I'm Adele Michael with another More Abundance Live. And today I'd like to talk to you about a program that my friend Erin Matthews, who is a Black therapist and licensed clinical social worker, is offering for white women to enter into the conversation about race, about equality, and about what we can do to to enrich our society so that there is more diversity and more opportunity for all. Her program is called Living in Empathy, and you can find it on her website, erinmatthewslcsw.com. And I have enrolled for one starting a little bit later in June, and I invite you to go and check it out. I had the opportunity to interview her earlier today, so I'd like to introduce you to Erin and let her tell you more about the program. Hi, this is Adele Michael. I am an abundance coach, and I am here with Erin Matthews, who is a therapist and licensed clinical social worker. And she has really stepped out to offer her services and her expertise to help particularly white women come into the conversation of anti-racism, equality, and diversity. I'll tell you a little bit about Erin. She is a friend of mine, and she is a contagiously optimistic therapist and seasoned coach with over 15 years of mental health experience. Throughout her career, she has focused on therapy, coaching, and training with an emphasis in the public and private sector. She has extensive facilitation and training experience, leading others to realize their own potential. So welcome, Erin.
Thank you.
This conversation.
I feel so fancy. I get an introduction.
I know. We'll get used to it. I think you're going to have a lot more. So is there anything more you want to say about who you are before we kind of get into what you're offering?
Yeah. And you know what? I want to tell you what I say before I lead every group. I'm from Illinois. I grew up in central Illinois, that it was very white, working class, and poor. So I've experienced overt racism from toddler age. Mm-hmm. So I say to many of the white people that come and want to talk to me, you're not going to hurt my feelings. Mm-hmm. I've heard it all, and I've heard it all for years, and I've come to my own okay place. I mean, does it still hurt? Sure, but I'm in a grounding and a positive place because I've done work to resolve much of that trauma. So I want people to come, bring their questions, bring your real self, because that's where we're going to get some friction to get the action and the movement, which a lot of white people are yearning for. And absolutely, right now, kind of in that fight, flight, freeze, but I'm seeing a lot of freeze, a lot of frozen, like, I just don't know. This is overwhelming, and I don't know what to do.
Great. Well, so tell us what you are offering to help us get unfrozen.
So this is what I know for sure, that when a big diversity program comes, that's where most people get it at work. Mm-hmm. It's many people of color talking, and the white people can kind of check out. Mm-hmm. But I know for real change, the white people are going to have to dig in. Mm-hmm. So before George Floyd's assassination, I had already thought, okay, you know what? I need to really offer some groups for white people in a space where you're supported by me, and let's really talk about what it means to be white and what it means for you. Start with us, me personally, as a white person. No, I'm not a white person, but that is the work. Like, let's start introspection. Let's start getting you unfrozen. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I'm like, okay, then let's talk about it. Mm-hmm. It's really as simple as that. And it works when people are able to be honest and open.
Right.
That's where the action happens.
Right. So you were offering a specific offering right now, course. Now, so
Yes.
tell us about that.
Yes, it's very specific. My company is called Living in Empathy, and it's getting white people to hit that empathetic
Yeah.
piece of them and really dig into what does my privilege look like, and get into some history. I have a woman who's partnering with me. She's Native American, to really go into some hurtful colonization work, and then our racial identity, and then getting into how acculturation, how we, me too, how we kind of buy into stealing other people's culture. And then we're at Target buying a Nama Slay shirt, not thinking of the damage that has been done to the culture that has been stolen from India.
Mhm.
So it's really current day, past, and like making it all come together to say, what's my micro action? What's my macro action? And that's what you walk away with.
Great.
And that's the goal. Let's get some stuff rolling.
Great. And so it's a 4-week online course that you
Yes.
facilitate with your co-facilitator, and you're
Yes.
inviting specifically white women. You have a group
Or men,
or men.
if they're willing. Sure.
Yeah.
We'll take anyone who their heart is ready. We're like, come on, let's go. Let's get to work. And that's the beauty of Zoom. I couldn't believe it, my own imposter syndrome. I had my first group, I had Miami, I had California, I had Northern Arizona, and New Hampshire. And I kept saying Chicago, Chicago. And then people are like, oh no, I'm actually here. And that was my own bias against myself of just thinking of some of the things I've internalized of like,
Yes.
they are not going to come. But I've really had to work on that this week for myself too. Like, no, people want to come. And it's a safe space to get vulnerable.
Well, I wanted to say that since I've known you, I have really felt we're in a mastermind group together, and
Yeah.
I've really felt like you do create a really safe space for whatever's coming up. It's
Right.
like you've been raised Black in this country, so you, as you've said, you've had experiences of all sorts, but you're not I don't ever feel like you're projecting that on me.
No, and I think that comes from being trained as a therapist. Like, you meet people where they're at.
Right.
It's not your fault you're bringing what you were raised with or what society has maybe in your head has been invisible, but let's talk about it.
Yeah.
And there's space for that.
And so what is I want to know your hope for this work. What do you
Yes.
hope will arise out of this work?
I hope there is some economic movement of where we're putting our money and who we're supporting. I really hope people walk away being like, I don't like that I work in an all white office, and who am I going to get a meeting with to break this conversation open? I hope that children are getting books written by Black authors with representation of all colors in their homes. I have a teacher that's in the group who's so willing to have these conversations with first graders, and I'm supporting her with that. I mean, it's across the gamut of real life examples of, like, maybe the Disney princess you pick is Tiana instead of, another Rapunzel, or,
Cinderella. Yeah.
yeah. And it's small actions that make a big difference.
Great.
But if you don't have a space to talk about it, it stays stuck and stuck in your mind, stuck in your body. We got to get it out and then make some moves.
Right. And when you first told me about the course that you're offering, you also said you had a vision for your daughter. Tell us about that.
As we know, in workspaces, many times Black women's resumes are in the recycle pile. And I want her to be on a playing field with white people who've grown up with families that have said, we see color and we acknowledge it and we do better and are in spaces with Black people where it doesn't feel weird. That's what I mean. We work on specific action to be like, if you're going to go support a Black coffee shop, put your daughter in the car with you and order her a hot chocolate. And it's normal.
Mhm.
So it's really normalizing. Let's all talk authentically. And that might be supporting a Black owned business and walking in there.
Mhm.
And simple as that. It doesn't have to be huge. Like just do it. And I've had women be like, I literally didn't think about getting in my car and driving there. And they're like, because we get stuck. The emotional part of our brain takes over and the thoughts go away. So it's getting some of that down to be like, smart people coming. It's just the emotions are clouding. It's too much.
Right.
So we're taking that down. And we use breath work within, because you can tell people get like this
Mhm.
or get or protect mode, and just to be like, take a breath,
Yes.
drink some water, bring your tea, and just, we're here. And it's worked.
That's beautiful. So you
Yeah.
have some courses that are going on now, but you have some
Yes,
coming up.
I sure
And
do. July, we are ready. We're rolling out more.
well, and it's so needed. It is so needed because you're so right. I mean, all these well-intentioned white women friends of mine are like, in coaching groups, are like, I don't know what to do. And, and then I started hearing about, stealing from other cultures, and I go, oh, I know I'm doing that, but I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Right.
I don't want to do it wrong.
Right.
But there has to be a space for us to make mistakes, to have the cross. I mean,
Exactly.
it's so ridiculous to say American to American, but cross-cultural conversations, because the Black culture is different from the white culture. And you guys know a lot about ours. We don't know necessarily a lot about yours.
Right.
And you're thinking. And
Yeah.
so to me, I mean, that's why I've signed up, because I trust you, I honor you, and I truly think that this will make a difference for those of us who really want to be in the conversation, be in a world where people have equal access to education, to healthcare, to good housing, water.
Yes, clean water. Yes. You're so
and
right.
abundance. I mean, that's my vision, is abundance in all, for all.
Yes.
And so,
And I will say this to the white women too. Many white women are this close to white men who have a lot of power. And if we could work as women first to then go home and then talk to your husband or your partner about this stuff, and then maybe they are making some hiring decisions, like, this is where the movement comes.
right.
Yeah.
Yes, I heard somebody say last week, what difference would it make if Jeff Bezos, who I think has $138 billion at his disposal, were a woman? What would you do if you had that much money?
Yes, and that's
saying you might not.
That's what I learned from you. Yeah, I've learned that from you. When you feel abundant, then you give.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the way we're seeing America run.
No.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Well, is there anything else you'd like to say before you tell us how we find your course?
Yeah. I just want people that, if you're right there on the edge, like, oh, should I not, just take a chance. This is, as a Black person, I take risks all the time. And this is a risk. It's just like, just do it. Don't get in your head and stuck. Just be like, I'm going to do it. And just know you're coming to a place where people got your back. We're here for action. And I really think people are longing for that.
Yes.
And we brainstorm, like, what's going to work for you? And then a woman brought it up last night that she uses a program in her job, but she's got it for kids, and she's got to change because the little people show up as white automatically. And I said, that's your macro step, to tweet at them, to send them an email to say, why is this set on white? And then I got to go in and change it.
Mhm.
Maybe it should be clear. And then if you want it white, you got to click on white too. So it's that. And she was like, yes, I got it. And it's like that positive energy of like, I have a voice, I'm going to use it, and I'm going to create change.
Wonderful. Great.
It can
Well,
be that simple.
tell us how we can find out more about your course, more about
Yes.
you, and how to sign
Yeah.
up for the course if we choose to.
Well, you can find me, Erin Matthews, LCSW.com. Erin, ERIN, Matthews, 2 T's, LCSW.com. And also you can follow me, the same, Erin Matthews, LCSW, on the Gram, IG. And I also have at Living in Empathy on Instagram too.
Great. And so when they go to your website,
Mm-hmm.
they go to the tab that says Living in Empathy to learn more.
Yes.
Sign up if they want to, right?
Exactly. And this is a work group. So we're working. We're working for change. So you'll see the link when you go to the tab, it'll say Living in Empathy Work Group.
Fabulous. And I just want to presence what I think that your work and our work for change can create. It can create a more equitable society, and it can create, I don't think that when I'm abundant, I'm going to hold my abundance. I know I'm going to give it. And most of the people that I work with are like that. We're just givers, right?
Yes.
And so if I am more abundant and more able to activate change, then I will see more abundance in my world. And so it's selfish in two ways. It's selfish because I am served, and it's selfish because my world is served, which makes everything better.
Right.
So that's my vision.
Love it.
For
yes.
What
I'm with you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Adele. So good to see you.
I can't wait to take the course.
I know, right? Thank you, everybody.
See ya.
Bye.
So I hope that was helpful for you, especially if you have a heart for change, and if the recent events in our country have really affected you and impacted you and made you want to know how you can move forward and be an agent of change and create our world to look like what you would like it to look like. And I think doing this is not a small step, but I think what Erin can teach us is taking small actions, having awareness, taking small actions can lead to a bigger change. So I invite you to check out Living in Empathy at erinmatthewslcsw.com, and I'll see you next time.